You feel it before you know it. The room goes quiet when you walk in. Your chest tightens. People you thought were friends suddenly can't look you in the eye. There's that familiar knot in your stomach, the one that whispers, "They know something about me I don't." Your name gets mentioned and the conversation shifts. That's not paranoia. That's your intuition picking up on toxic gossip. And here's the truth that changes everything. When people gossip about you, it has almost nothing to do with who you are and everything to do with what they lack. This isn't about your mistakes or your flaws. This is about their insecurity. They don't gossip because they're curious. They gossip because your calm threatens their chaos. Your silence makes them feel irrelevant. So today, we're decoding the hidden psychology behind toxic gossip. We'll reveal the 4 manipulation techniques they use to rewrite reality. And I'll give you the exact 7 rules to build complete immunity. This isn't about fighting back. It's about strategic peace. The psychology, why they target you. Think about this. Research from UCR shows people spend nearly an hour a day, 52 minutes, talking about someone who isn't even in the room. That's not casual conversation. That's a strategy. For instance, imagine a quiet but competent colleague who gets a promotion. Another coworker, feeling threatened, starts whispering, "She must have manipulated her way up." Not because it's true, but to elevate his own status by diminishing hers. A major study by Biersma and Van Cleef called gossip social currency. It's how people measure their standing, gather information, and quietly navigate social hierarchies. But here's what most people get wrong about why they gossip. And once you see this one thing, you'll never take their words personally again. People crave status most when they secretly feel small. Stop for a second. Think about the last person who gossiped about you. Did they seem confident? Or did they seem like they were trying to prove something? They gossip not out of curiosity, but as a desperate attempt to feel significant by comparison. That's the entire game. Your calm threatens them because it proves they could change, and they're not ready for that. This is why your name becomes their weapon. When someone says, "Did you hear what happened to her?" what they're really saying is, "Look at me. I know something you don't." It's not a conversation. It's a performance. Dominance disguised as connection. Psychologists call it an ego boost through social hierarchy. But underneath that act of control is pure fear. Fear of being powerless. Fear of being invisible. Fear that without someone else's story to feed on, they'd have no story of their own. And if they can't be admired, they'd rather be feared. Now, who do they target? Toxic gossipers don't play fair. They target 2 very different types of people for the exact same reason. First, they aim at the strong, the stable, the calm, the respected, the people who move through chaos without losing themselves. You represent something they fear: composure, boundaries, quiet power. They attack your calm because it serves as a mirror to their own instability, and they'd rather shatter the mirror than fix what's broken. And here's what makes it sting. You're being attacked for the very qualities you worked hard to build: your composure, your boundaries, your quiet power. The things that took years to develop become the reason they want to tear you down. It's a special kind of betrayal. Their mind whispers, "You're better than me. I need to pull you down." Studies in social psychology show gossip can serve to damage the reputation of rivals. It's a subtle act of status competition. When they hear gossip about a peer's credibility, the brain's reward circuitry actually flickers. They get a spark of pleasure from watching the mighty stumble. But they also target the vulnerable, the unprotected, the soft, the quiet. Why? Because you're an easy target, safe to attack. They crave control, and gossip gives them that illusion. It makes them feel, "I'm above you." Psychologists call this what it is: repeated aggression that feeds on a power imbalance. So here's the core insight you must remember. Whether they target you because you shine too brightly or because you seem like an easy mark, the goal is identical: to rebalance an invisible scoreboard in their mind, to feel significant for one fleeting moment. Their attack is not proof of your weakness, it's proof of your relevance. So now you know why they target you. But here's what most people miss. Knowing the motive doesn't protect you from the manipulation. The real power comes from spotting their 4 signature techniques before they work. The manipulation, the 4 techniques they use. Once you understand the motive, you can spot the methods. But here's what makes these 4 techniques so dangerous. They work because they exploit something most people don't even realize they're vulnerable to. And the scariest part? Even good people use them without knowing it. These are the 4 techniques they use to manipulate how others see you. These techniques are designed to make you doubt yourself. They work because they're subtle. By the time you realize what happened, the damage is already done. Here's how to spot them before they land. Technique 1 is the bandwagon of belief. This is where things get dark. One toxic gossiper starts, and others join in. Not because they believe the story, but because they want to belong. Psychologists call this the bandwagon effect. Adopting a belief not because it's true, but because it's shared. It's primitive. It's tribal. It's how reputations are quietly assassinated in workplaces, friend groups, and families. They're not searching for truth. They're searching for unity against a common target. And unity in the wrong hands becomes mob mentality. The lie gains power simply because enough people are repeating it. Technique 2 is empathy as camouflage. Ever notice how some gossipers act concerned? They lower their voice and say, "I'm just so worried about him." That's not empathy. That's theater. For example, picture someone saying, "I'm concerned about Mark. He seems so stressed lately. I hope he's not cracking under pressure," while subtly implying he's unreliable. The words sound caring, but the intent is to plant doubt. Psychologists call this covert aggression, manipulation wearing the mask of care. They pretend to be kind so their poison sounds like concern. They plant a seed of doubt and let you water it yourself. The cruelest part? They'll comfort the very person they're destroying just to watch how it unfolds. They don't want peace. They want proximity to chaos. They get a thrill from being close to the drama they created. Notice the pattern? They all have one thing in common. They make you doubt yourself. That's the design. That's the trap. Now watch how they escalate it. Technique 3 is the moral mask. This is when gossipers sound righteous. They claim they're just warning others, acting out of a sense of duty. But that's not virtue. That's self-deception. This is a form of moral licensing. The illusion that a harmful act can be justified if it feels like it serves a good cause. They'll say, "I just want people to know who she really is," while refusing to admit what they have become, a person defined by resentment. They use morality as a shield for their envy. And envy, left unchecked, becomes a quiet obsession that fuels their every move. Technique 4 is the comparison trap. According to social comparison theory, humans constantly evaluate themselves against others. A toxic gossiper sees your calm, your progress, your kindness, and instead of feeling inspired, they feel threatened. They don't want what you have. They want to prove it's not worth having. That's the difference between envy and admiration. Once you see that distinction, you stop taking their attacks personally. So they weaponize your success. They twist compliments into gossip. They highlight your achievements sarcastically, planting doubts that slowly erode your confidence from the inside. For them, words are cheaper than self-improvement and infinitely more satisfying than doing the hard work of growth. They don't just attack you, they turn social comparison into a trap, pulling everyone into a cycle of envy and doubt. Now that you see how the game works, you're no longer a victim of it, you're a student of it. And students become masters. The 7 rules I'm about to share aren't about fighting back. They're about becoming someone gossip can't touch. The rules, your 7-step defense system. Now here's the strategic response, and this is where most people get it wrong. You don't win by out-talking them. You don't win by proving yourself. You win by outgrowing the game entirely. And the 7 rules I'm about to share aren't about fighting back. They're about becoming someone gossip can't touch. Rule 1. Starve the beast. Your first instinct is to fight back, to defend yourself. That's exactly what they want. a reaction to prove their story hits. Don't give them free evidence. Silence isn't submission, it's control. The Stoics called it apatheia, freedom from destructive emotions. It's not that you don't care. You simply refuse to let their chaos rewrite your peace. As Epictetus said, it is not events that disturb people, but their judgments concerning them. Respond on your timeline, not theirs. Rumors burn fast, but truth has patience. Rule 2. Armor your mind. When you hear the whispers, step back, breathe. Ask yourself 3 questions. Who is spreading this? What do they actually gain? Does this even deserve my energy? Most gossip is just noise disguised as connection. Today it's your name. Tomorrow it's someone else's. The moment you see it as their pattern, not your problem, anxiety fades. You're not the hunted anymore. You're the observer. Rule 3. Choose your moment wisely. Silence doesn't mean you never speak. It means you choose when. When the time is right, deliver one clear, undeniable fact. No drama, no begging. Just a simple, I've heard some talk. Let's clear it up directly. Calm authority hits harder than rage ever will. Every extra word adds oxygen to their fire. One strike, clean, done. You've now learned how to stay silent, armor your mind, and speak strategically. That alone puts you ahead of 90% of people who react emotionally. The next 3 rules are about building your fortress even stronger. Rule 4. Build an undeniable reputation. Your name isn't protected by arguments. It's protected by consistent action. Show up, deliver, stay grounded. Take Alex, for example, who was rumored to be difficult to work with. Instead of defending himself, he focused on delivering exceptional results and helping teammates. Over months, his consistent reliability made the rumors fade. People saw his actions, not the gossip. People eventually see patterns, not rumors. If someone speaks ill of you, live in a way that makes it impossible for others to believe them. When your life speaks louder than their lies, the noise fades into static. You don't fight it, you outgrow it. Rule 5. Flip the attack. Remember, gossip isn't about you, it's about them. Every rumor exposes their envy and insecurity, so let them talk. You just take notes. They waste energy trying to pull you down. You redirect that same energy to build yourself higher. That's the real power move. Their attempt to harm you becomes fuel for your growth. Rule 6. Find quiet support. Not everyone deserves access to your story. Identify the few people who truly get you, who know your character and ground you when the noise gets loud. A tight, trusted circle doesn't just protect your reputation, it protects your peace. You can't control the world, but you can control who is close enough to touch your energy. Rule 7. Set boundaries like a master. When someone tries to drag you into gossip, cut it off instantly. Use one clear sentence. I don't talk about people who aren't here to defend themselves. No emotion, no extra words. For example, if someone says, "Did you hear about Lisa's mistake?" You respond calmly, "I don't talk about people who aren't here." The gossiper is caught off guard, and the conversation shifts to something neutral. This simple statement flips the power dynamic immediately. Their chaos stays theirs. Your peace stays yours. That feeling from the beginning, the room going quiet, the knot in your stomach, it doesn't disappear overnight. But something has shifted. You now understand the game. You know their psychology. You know their techniques. You have 7 concrete rules. That's not just knowledge. That's immunity. Conclusion. Reclaiming your peace. You came in here feeling like gossip controlled you. That powerlessness was real. But it was also a choice to react instead of observe. And now you have a different choice. The single insight that changes everything. Gossip is never about you. It's always about them. Once you truly believe that, you stop defending yourself and start building yourself. That's the shift. Here's what I want you to do today. The next time someone tries to drag you into gossip, use one sentence. I don't talk about people who aren't here to defend themselves. And watch what happens. Notice how the power flips. That one moment will prove to you that you're no longer the target. You're the observer. And observers don't just win, they build empires. If you're ready to stop being controlled by other people's narratives, hit like and join the community of people reclaiming their power. Share your story in the comments. Tell me which rule you're implementing first, or share a moment when you realized gossip was never about you. The most insightful ones become our next deep dive into the psychology of manipulation.